Hey folks, we got another video here, a little bit of, I don't know if I'd call this how-to, but I've got a little project that I've got to deal with here, and it has to do with the decking that you can see here just outside of my little she shed, and I'll show you what I mean. So I have this little decking. It just kind of wraps around. It's mainly just for the front side of the she shed. And then I have it so that it wraps around just a little bit. That's just more for aesthetics than anything. But here's the biggest problem that I have, and that is rot. So this piece is rotten. This piece is definitely on its way. These others seem okay. I don't know. There's a few here I want to replace. There's some green mildew that I can get rid of with a pressure washer. But I've got a few pieces here that have developed some rot. It's a little bit distressing because this is only 5 years old and it's pressure treated lumber. We also have some rot going on with this one that started. Also here, I can stick my screwdriver all the way through it. These spots, that's where a flower pot sat. That's more so my fault than anything. But anyway, it's a minor repair. I need to run to the home improvement center, pick up a little bit of lumber here to be able to patch this in and correct the rot. Yeah, so join me and I'll show you how this is done here. We'll take a run to the home improvement center and pick up what we need. All right, so we're back from the home improvement center. I didn't bother filming any of that. I think everybody knows what that routine is like. But we picked up a couple of 8-foot long deck boards. I'll show you here. So this is what we have. Just picked up 2 of them. That's going to be more than enough to do what we need to do. And these are pressure treated. And decking boards are 5/8 inches thick. I believe that is correct. And 5.5 inches wide. So they're kind of rounded on the edges. Anyway, if you happen to have a deck, this is there's a high likelihood this is the material that was used for the actual decking itself. So we have that. And as far as tools that we're going to need, we have a circular saw just to saw the boards to the length that we need. We have a drill with a Phillips head bit installed because we're going to be using Phillips head screws. We have a carpenter's pencil, a little square here so that we can mark lines nice and straight on our boards. You'll see how that's done. And of course a tape measure. All right, so just one correction here. I had a Phillips bit set up that I was going to use, and turns out that the screws that I used when I installed this decking had Torx heads on them. So I do have a set of Torx. So what we're going to do is, this is the board that was, I think, most damaged here. It's about a 4-foot long piece. So we're going to take that up, and we're just going to take all of them up that need to be replaced, and we'll take them over next to our new lumber, and we'll use these as a basically as a measurement. Here has some rot, so I'm going to have to come back and address that as well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just probably going to go ahead and pull off all these boards here. I don't have the piece of wood that I need to replace this, but we'll go ahead and get these pieces of board off, the deck boards off, and just to see how much rot in terms of that other piece of wood that we'll need to deal with. So let's just keep going. Okay, so it looks like we're good to right there. So that's not going to be a whole lot of wood to have to get rid of. And I think this piece is good. The end piece, a little bit of dampness there. We'll probably spray some or put some sealer on this stuff, clean it up and seal it. But we are going to have to replace this piece of wood right here before we can put any replacement boards back on. And actually, every one of these boards that I took off, the ends are rotten. You can kind of see what I mean by that right there. So I think I have enough. But if not, we'll go back to the Home Improvement Center and get some more. So we'll just keep going here. And I guess the next thing we'll do is see about cutting this piece of wood off right here. And what I'm going to use, it's not necessarily a tool that's going to be in everybody's tool bag, but this is a oscillating saw, variable speed. And what this is going to allow us to do is use this blade and do a plunge cut. Do a series of plunge cuts in order to get this piece of wood cut right here. We can't really get in there with anything else. I don't have enough room for a circular saw, a reciprocating saw, or sometimes referred to as a sawzall, just isn't going to work. So I have this, again, this plunge cut type of saw, this oscillating saw, and we're going to use this. So I'll show you how this works. We'll get started on this now. One thing I should say, what I've done is I've gone ahead. There were screws holding this piece onto the actual shed itself. I've taken those screws out. Same kind of screws like we're holding in the holding the decking boards on. So that's all been removed now. So we're going to go ahead and start with our saw. All right, I think we have it. And we do. All right. Okay, so we've pulled that out. The end piece came out with it, which is okay. I think we can salvage the end piece. Need to get rid of some more screws here, or nails. I think that's screws. We'll clean up this space, and then we'll go cut our new piece of wood. Okay, so I have some scrap wood that I'm going to be using to make this repair for this rotten wood that we had to unexpectedly take out. So I need to mark a line here because it's got a little corner out of it. And we go down to this end, mark another line, toss this to the side. Let's set our little square on here. And what that'll do by lining our square up along this edge, it'll allow us to get a straight line drawn in here, and this is a little hard to do one-handed, but get a line drawn in there, and then we'll get our circular saw out and we'll make our cut. Now I've decided I'm not going to try and salvage that end piece. So we'll take our end piece, line it up, have enough left on this piece of scrap wood that we can take care of our end piece. All right, and there we go. We have our two pieces, so we'll go ahead and take them back over to the shed and start installing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start the screws ahead of time, and I'm actually reusing some of the screws that we took out. These are exterior grade screws, and they're perfectly good, so why not, right? I'd rather reuse than toss them in the garbage. Alright, now we can get on with what we originally started to do, and that is replace some of the deck boards. So let's move on to that step. Alright, so here we are back on our outdoor workbench, which is nothing more than my picnic table. And what we're going to do, this is the one sort of long board that we pulled up. So we're just going to use that as our measurement. Get that right at the end there. Come right down to this end. All right, and so we're going to cut that one first. Okay, so we'll take this and back over to our porch here, and let's drop that in. All right, that works. So now we'll just go back and we'll cut our short pieces, which are all going to be the same length. And we need a total of 8 pieces that are this length. I think we're going to come up just a tad short, but let's see what we can work out here. Okay, so we got 6. So we came up too short. This one, actually, that I was using for a template might work. But let's go ahead and take these over and we'll start getting these installed, and we'll pick out 2 of the best ones from the old bunch. So I'm just going to lay these in. And we'll find 2 halfway decent ones. I think that one will work. I think this one will work. And then we'll cut a final piece for the end that requires a rip. So we'll use one of these. This is the old rip. And actually I need to space these a little bit. So, of course, you can see this one is chipped out. So we're not going to be able to reuse that. But we'll use this as a gauge. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of spacing in between each of these. And that'll bring us out to where we should be right here. And there won't be such a gap. Alright, so there we go. We have another little project out of the way. Simple little deck repair, getting rid of some rotten wood. Pretty easy job, a little more involved than I expected because we got into some rotten wood that we couldn't see until we took some of these deck boards off, but still not a big deal. Wait up, wait up, wait up. We can't let this go unfinished. I went back to the store, I got another stick of wood, and now we can call it done. So there we go. So if you like this video, give it a like. I really appreciate it. And if you can, subscribe to the channel. Costs nothing at all. And hope everybody has a good rest of your day, good rest of your week. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.